everyone, and welcome back to an episode of the Northern Block Podcast. It is Monday, October 20th, 2025. I am your host here, Nordic 97, joined with LeBlock James. LeBlock, how we doing?
Fantastic.
Great. Good to hear. Yeah, I'm sure you're very happy with your Jays result. We also have producer Tim. Tim, how we doing?
How we doing?
New add to the setup. You want to explain what you got back there?
Well, went to the home opener. Bad day, but I got the Centennial jersey behind me, and I got my Michigan State jersey. They had a great weekend against Boston University on the road, and yeah, it was a good weekend for me in terms of hockey.
That's a pretty tough jersey with the Michigan State one. That's pretty nice, I gotta say. All right, so we got a lot to talk about here. Let's start off in the realm of the Montreal world. So we have not made a TikTok. I'm stuck in TikTok land. We have not made a podcast since Sunday of last week, and we uploaded it on Monday, and we talked about Lane Hutson in that podcast. And an hour before the podcast dropped, Lane Hutson was re-signed by Montreal. And I was just like, really? So we're not mad about well, maybe somebody in this chat's mad about the contract. But I was more mad about how we made that episode, and then, of course, he gets signed right before the episode drops. It was really frustrating. So Lane Hutson signed an 8-year extension with the Montreal Canadiens worth $8.85 million. There's a lot of deferred money in that situation there, or not deferred, salary bonuses in that contract, so that plays a big factor in why this was taken down so low. But bar none, I mean, we're not going to go into it that much, but we said in the podcast, this is going to get done sooner rather than later. We were right about that. What we were wrong about is that we thought he wasn't going to take a team-friendly deal, and we were very wrong about that as LeBlock's in panic mode. His lights going all bananas. But regardless, Hutson, 8 years, 8.85. How are we feeling about that?
Remember when I said he didn't like being talked about all the time? I think somebody caved.
Somebody caved. Well, LeBlock, here's the thing, though. He rejected more money.
Yes, I'm going to...
So he really caved it. Okay, all right. I'll let you go. Sorry.
But I think at the end of the day, he just really wanted to stay in Montreal. He didn't care how much he was going to get paid. And I think he believes in the core and what they're trying to build there. So I guess taking less money to help out the team isn't a bad thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, hey. Sorry about that. Good on him. I had to grab my notebook. I left it in my backpack. Good on him for taking a team-friendly deal. There's really nothing else to say. Like, this puts Montreal in a great cap situation. Tim, what do you think?
Yeah, I think just in general, it was a good deal for both. Obviously, it was a good deal for Montreal. You got who some people think is one of the best offensive defensemen in the league at a very, very team-friendly deal. And it's only going to age better as the cap goes up year by year. Mm-hmm. And for Lane, yeah, he probably could have got 9, 10, 11, maybe there was one rumor I saw of 12 even. But overall for him, I think if you believe in the core that Montreal's building and you want to try to win, smart players take less so they can add more to the table. And I think that's what he did. And it was a good move for him to stay at Montreal as a division rival. I'm not a fan of it from that sense, but
I hate it.
Yeah, you can't really be mad about it from a Montreal fan perspective. You're ecstatic and you're kind of shocked that it was that low, but
yeah. We said it on the NordCast. Like, they need to build Kent Hughes a statue. Like, this is unbelievable. Sorry.
At this rate, yeah, you kind of do. I agree with you.
In the final 3 years of the contract, he is on a 10-team no trade clause. The first 2 years of that deal, he is on an $11 million salary bonus. The year 3 is 9.5. Year 4 is 6.5. 5 and 6 are $6 million, and then 7 is 5 with no signing bonus in the 8th year. So this guy is making a lot of money in just salary and just signing bonuses alone. It's crazy. But honestly, if that's warranted to take the cap hit, you got to take it, honestly. I feel like Montreal has set themselves up in a phenomenal spot cap-wise. Ivan Demidov, he's going to be their biggest guy to ask for a contract next. he's not going to ask for a ton more money than this. I know he is a Russian, and Russians love to ask for more money. We've made that a known fact. But I think that he doesn't really have that much of a leg to stand on, especially with all of the other guys taking team-friendly deals. I'm just going to be honest with you. What's that look for? You don't agree with me?
Wrong.
With what? With what do you think I'm wrong with?
He won't ask for. He'll only ask for a little bit more. I think he's going to ask for $11 million when it's all said and done.
Well, I mean, $11 million, but is that really that much more? Montreal has $27 million in cap space next offseason.
I mean, it's a solid $3 million increase.
Okay, sure, but you see the cap going. The cap's going up like $7 million.
You know what I mean? The cap is going up, so it's fine. But
yeah.
When the cap goes up, an $11 million deal could probably look like a $9 million deal.
But even then, we said that Hutson was going to get that amount of money,
and then he didn't.
Say Demidov won't take a team-friendly deal. I've given up the idea at this point of these players going out and getting all these monies, especially in Montreal. Like Ken Hughes will find out a way. He'll offer Demidov $20 million for a signing bonus. The way this guy puts stuff together is insane. But regardless, that's what I think. As well as that, too, Ken Hughes was also signed to a 5-year extension, which was go ahead, sign that guy.
Yeah, that's kind of earned.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. That Hudson contract alone has been...
I'm just saying, this contract has, Tim said, Montreal fans are over the moon. I saw people in the street, most of my coworker, because he works with me and he's a Montreal fan, he's doing backflips in the parking lot. That's how happy he was. And that brother is he's not a small dude. I didn't know he had it in him.
Yeah, it's pretty elated right now, I got to be honest with you.
Good news brings out the best in people. What can we say?
Exactly, yeah. So we're going to stick it in the Eastern Conference. We're going to move around here a little bit. We're going to go out to the Western Conference. We have a lot of teams to cover here. We're going to start off with Ottawa. So first thing I want to cover here with the Senators and LeBlanc is Brady Tkachuk is out 6 to 8 weeks after a surgery on his right thumb, which, I mean, honestly, it does suck, but it's actually better than what we were seeing on a lot of accounts. So I do want to say that, but LeBlanc was obviously in shambles when Tkachuk was injured on that play, and rightfully so. I got to be honest with you.
Why would you bring this up? Why would you bring this up to me?
We're going into the Senators talk because we need to talk about Pinto as well. But what do you think about Tkachuk not being there?
It blows. It sucks.
You told me a couple of days ago. You said that Ottawa is a completely different team when he's not there.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was actually going into that actually. Yeah, so Ottawa, he's their captain. He's their captain. He's their heart and soul guy. When you take him out of the room, it's there's who's going to step up, and we saw who stepped up. It was Dylan Cousins, Shane Pinto, and Stützle.
Yep.
But
exactly. So again, it's definitely going to be interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
But the problem is now, he's out for 8 weeks, which is a lot better than what we were seeing because there was a rumor he was going to get surgery to be out for 5 months. I'll take the 8 weeks. They need to just get through this stretch 500. That's what they got to do.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
You had this whole thing prepared.
I don't want to get off topic. So,
yeah, we're going to shift over here in a minute, but I do want to say the Senators definitely have not had the greatest start to the season. So, hopefully, in the light of this news, they will be motivated to do well without their captain, and things will turn around. I do have some concerns with how their goaltending is played, but regardless, Montreal reportedly. By the way, just saying this right now, I know I just said Montreal, but I meant Ottawa. Shane Pinto's been on fire. This guy is top 5 in goals in the NHL. I know it's early, so there's a couple of guys in there where you're like, why is he in there? But Pinto's been cooking. Pinto's been absolutely awesome, and we preached that a lot in the season previews. Ottawa reportedly put an 8-year extension on the table for RFA Shane Pinto. Nothing is totally imminent, but that's what is on the table per Elliot Friedman. So, LeBlanc, I'll go to you, and then I'll ask Tim the same question, too, if he has any thoughts. What do you think about this, and how much is the salary going to be with this contract if it's 8 years?
Pinto's on fire. All right. So this extension, like the 8-year table, was in the summer as well. I want to make that very clear. It wasn't just like right now. In the summer, they were talking 8 years, and they were far apart in the summer. Now that this has happened, and he's starting the year off really hot, they're even more far apart.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
yeah,
I don't got no sources, but I've been told the number is around 8.5 to 9 million is what he's asking.
Ooh, wow. Okay, then.
It's contract year.
Wow.
I like Shane Pinto. I feel like he will sign. He's an RFA. He loves playing in Ottawa. Really will sign, but I feel like they're going to come to some sort of compromise somewhere. I believe 7.5 would be a good number, even 7. And it may seem a little high, but Pinto has a really good year this year. I don't think you'll bat an eye at it.
Pinto last year, 6 games played, or Pinto this year, 6 games played, 7 goals, 1 assist, 8 points. Last year, he played 70 games, had 21 goals, 16 assists, 37 points. He has nearly a third of his goal total from last year, just 6 games into the season. So 8 to 8.5, is that what you just said?
8.
I don't know.
8.5 to 9 is the asking price, apparently.
Ooh, wow. I guess if he really does like have a real breakout year this year and gets like 50, maybe even 60 points, I can see it. But I don't know. I think he's definitely warranted of it, though. I feel like he can earn it.
Otto's going to have money this offseason, so they have the money for him.
Yeah.
They just got to think big picture here.
Mm-hmm. Tim, what do you think?
Well, first off, can somebody test this man? Where the hell are all these goals coming from?
Yeah.
I didn't know we had this in him.
He's been awesome. Third of his goal total from last year already.
And like, you can't take anything away from him. When you're hot, you're hot, and puck just keeps going in for him, which is great to see for the Sens, who, as we've said, not the greatest start to the year, but not that it's the offense's part. It's kind of other things. I'm not going to let James go into that rant, but
yeah, let's not hop into that.
Yeah, when
talk about here,
I feel like 8.5 to 9 would feel a little high, and like just like James said, I feel like a 7.5, even if it's up at like 7.5 to 8, you could probably stomach that a little bit more.
Yeah,
I think if you can keep him under what Stützle makes, which I don't know off the top of my head, James
makes 8.3 mil.
Yeah, I think if you can, as long as you can keep Pinto under that, then it should be a good deal. Term is gonna dictate a lot as well. So I think as long as it's under Stützle's contract, then it'll be a good deal for the Sens in general.
If they do cave in and he does sign for about let's say 8.5, 8.7, he would be the highest paid Ottawa Senator ever.
That's actually insane.
Because the highest paid Ottawa Senator right now is Tim Stützle.
Oh my god. So that kind of tells me, and I'm gonna pull up Montreal here. Like that tells me like Pinto's not better than Stu or Tkachuk or Sanderson. So then again, what leg does he really have to stand on here? And you've made that point before the block that you always look at the best player, but maybe that narrative's going away.
It might be going away, but like look at I want to point to Montreal. Like Hutson didn't get more than Suzuki. Well, I mean, we did say the Dobson thing, but I think that's a totally different.
Yeah,
because
we already
they traded for Dobson, and then Dobson had his demands not prior to being on that team. It's a whole different conversation. I'm not going to get into it, but I feel like that narrative might be slipping away, kind of. But I still think if you look at Stützle, say if you get as many, I would say this: if you get as many points as Stützle, you're going to have the money.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, nobody's arguing that.
I think that's Absolutely. A fair take.
Yeah, nobody's arguing that for sure. Okay, so if that's all you got for Pinto, we're going to move on here. We have a couple of teams that we need to talk about. We're going to start off with Tim's Detroit. 5-1-0 to start the season, 10 points, a pretty good goal differential. They started off with a rough home opener, which Tim was in attendance for. against Montreal. They lost that game 5-1. And ever since then, they've bounced back. They've been pretty solid. Just pulling up their schedule here real quick. They have taken on Toronto. They beat them 6-3, then went back into Toronto, beat them 3-2. So going in there, taking 2 points from an Atlantic Division rival is pretty good. And again, they did that 4 times over this 5-game winning streak. The 4-1 win against Florida, which was great. I watched that game. The 2-1 overtime win against Tampa Bay, which is a good win. By the way, Tampa, I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah.
And then a 4-2 win on Sunday against the Oilers. Most recently, Emmett Finney's been absolutely phenomenal for them. He is tied for rookie points, I'm pretty sure. 7th round pick to the NHL. What a story. So I'll turn it over to Tim here. Tim, what has your evaluation been about the Red Wings these past couple of days? Jesus.
First off, what the hell did Todd say to the team in the room after that Montreal game? Whatever you said to them lit a fire under him. And then he comes out to the press and calls him out. When I saw that, I was like, this season is about to go either off the rails or they're gonna turn around and have this actually light them and use it and go for it. And when your first 5 games are against all divisional rivals, that's a tough start. But then we've kind of won in different ways every game. The first game against Toronto, it was a power play. It was a special teams game. Talbot helped a little bit. Then you go into Toronto, and Talbot stole that one. Plain and simple, he stole that game. We got outshot 40-15, and you come out with a win. That's great. Then you go against Florida, and that, again, Talbot probably the big star, but another power play game where 2 of our 3 goals were on the power play. So that's picked up right where it's left off. Then you go into Friday against Tampa, and that was the biggest game for me of this stretch because it was a good step to see how is Gibson going to respond after the stinker in the home opener, and he played. It was not for John Gibson in that third period. We lose that game. He stood on his head. I think Tampa had like 15 shots in the third alone, and he gave up 1 after we were hemmed in for 5 minutes. So then you get to overtime. He makes 2 big saves. Larkin with a breakaway. On Friday, it was Axel Sandin-Pellikka scoring his first NHL goal. Then today against Edmonton, it was Emmett Finney who gets 2 goals, and he had 3 points on the night. Larkin had 4 points in the game. We're scoring in a bunch of different ways, but the new youth from the rookies of Finney, Brandon Nygaard, who hasn't gotten on the score sheet yet, but he's been good, and then Axel Sandin-Pellikka. Those 3, I feel like, have changed the dynamic of this team because we're a lot faster. Our D-core just looks better. I was talking to James about this, I think it was yesterday or Thursday. The Wings have 5 defensemen, 25 or younger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which,
crazy.
Shocker, you have a lot younger players. They actually know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
Outside of being an old folks home.
Travis Hamonic.
I mean, hey,
where?
Sherratt's been good. Sherratt's been good. He had a filthy assist today. I didn't know he had that in him.
Yeah.
But and it kind of helps with him and Mo. The emergence of Sandin-Pellikka on that second pair with Edmondson has also lightened Seider and Sherratt's load, where they don't have to play almost 30 minutes a night, and it's all against the top lines. Sandin-Pellikka and Edmondson have been great as well, so you can kind of split that up. The goaltending has been great outside of the first game, but I don't blame all of that on Gibson. Talbot's looked phenomenal for somebody who was almost 40. And then Gibson, the past 2 nights, has been the John Gibson I thought we were going to get when we traded for him.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I really like how the young players have looked, and you got into it a little bit. I just feel like when I watched the game against Toronto, especially, I streamed that game, and watching the game against Florida, they're noticeable out there. Like Sandin-Pellikka, like I was calling his name every every 5 minutes, it felt like. Like, that guy is just great puck mover. You can really notice him out there. And I feel like he's been a big part of why that blue line's been looking a lot better here to start the season. I just got to say it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to be this good defensively this quick.
Yeah.
You knew with him that he was going to be an offensive guy. You knew he could quarterback a power play really well. I was worried about how well will he adjust in the defensive end, and he's adjusted great. Maybe part of that is playing with his fellow countryman in Simon Edmondson, who is only getting better as he's getting more time in the NHL. He's going to be great. I'm not worried about us not signing him because that'll get done when, no clue, but I know that'll get done. But yeah, Sandy and Pellica and Edmondson have really raised the floor of this D-core. That's probably been our best D pairing all year so far.
Absolutely. LeBlanc, anything you want to say on Detroit?
So there's only one explanation I came to of why Detroit's so hot right now.
Oh, great.
After Tim drove all the way to the LCA to see them get what 5-1. Secretly, Tim's a wizard. He's a Gryffindor. And then he went down to the locker room and he did some wizard shit to the Wings. Now they're just insane at hockey.
I mean, I like what Regan's Twitter is saying.
Some Harry Potter bullshit. And now the Wings are just like world beaters.
I will not comment on those allegations, but I like what Wings Twitter has said. And we said it at the start of the year. We're just trying to Aura farm our way to a playoff spot. First, you announce you're retiring Fedorov's number. Then you bring the hockey town back at center ice. Now you're bringing in rookies. We're just doing everything. All the stuff that the fan base has been asking for years, we're finally doing it.
So with Detroit, though, like you see that first game, and like we all saw that first game. And then you said McClellan calls him out, and I think that's really what the difference has been, is that you have a coach who's not... Like, if Lalonde was still here, he would have been like, we'll get him next time. We didn't get the bounces.
Oh, yeah. He wouldn't have said anything. So, and definitely not to the press like he did.
Yeah, and McClellan's a guy who will call you out to the media if you're doing bad, and he's been known to do that everywhere he's been. So I think it's a coaching thing where they have actually a competent coach now, and they are being held accountable for their actions. Larkin's been on fire. Larkin's been on fire recently. Holy shit! Okay,
don't worry, I that though.
Yeah, no,
top 3 scoring in the league right now.
You can tell why he's one of the better captains in the league. It's the way he carries himself, the way he leads the team. And then Gibson and Talbot outside the first game, have been really good.
Yeah, definitely. I can see in your eyes how hard that is for you to say that Larkin's a great captain.
I actually everyone has this fucking LeBlanc hates the Red Wings. I'll be honest, I actually like the Red Wings. Like I don't hate the Red Wings like I hate Montreal and Toronto.
That's fair. Yeah. You guys have gone at it, though. I don't really have a choice. I'm just going to put that out there. Yeah. I don't really have a choice. All right. So, yeah, the Red Wings have been phenomenal. Moving on from Detroit, let's go to the Rangers. The Rangers have kind of broken a record here for the longest active team to not score a goal at home, which is absolutely insane. So that comes to 3 shutouts. One of them being against the Penguins in their home opener, the Capitals, and then the Edmonton Oilers there as well, all shutting them out in 3 straight home games. It passes the Florida Panthers, who held the record, which of course they did, because the Panthers back in the 2010s were just awful. Of course they had that record. So they passed them, but the longest record is held by the Pittsburgh Pirates, and not the...
Not the baseball team?
Not the MLB team with Paul Skeens, no. It's the hockey team that was around back in the 1920s. The record was broken the record was set, I guess you could say, in 1928 by the Pirates. So if the Rangers go 7 minutes tomorrow against Minnesota without scoring a goal, they will have the all-time record for the longest goal-scoring drought at home to start a season. Crazy. It's kind of crazy. So What are your guys' thoughts on this? Because I have some opinions on it. I'm not worried about it, but what do you guys think about this?
It's been so great.
James, you might need to pull that thing back out. Grab it for Breeze again.
It's been so great not being able to hear the Rangers goal horn. Just first 2 weeks been so peaceful. Hey, hey! Like there's none of that going on. But for a team that's they have these offensive dynamos at home, like what's going on? Like I don't have an explanation for this other than new coach, get into the system. But I'm sorry, you have Panarin, JT Miller, Mika Zibanejad, Alexis Lafreniere, Adam Fox on the back end. You're telling me you don't have a single goal at home this year?
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit weird.
Also, do you have the opponents of who they played? So I know they played Pittsburgh.
Well, I said them.
Pittsburgh,
if you bothered
Washington,
to listen. Pittsburgh, Washington, and Edmonton.
So
two good teams.
Skinner and Thompson.
Charlie Lindgren was in there.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Oh, God, even worse.
Who should be able to score all those games? I'm just... Even with an empty net, come on. There's no... His team is capable of better. And I think they'll score before 7 minutes tomorrow.
Well, you better hope so.
People, it's funny. I don't really buy into this that much, though, because the Rangers on the road have been very good. If the Rangers weren't able to score on the road, then we could have this conversation. Yeah. I feel like this is just a weird, fluke in a way. This is a weird, fluky thing they're going on, because otherwise they've been very good. They went into Buffalo, they beat them 4-0. They went into Pittsburgh, they beat them 6-1. They lost 2-1 in overtime to Toronto, but they beat Montreal 4-3 in a comeback win. So I got to be blunt with you. I'm not really worried about how they're playing at home. It is a little bit weird. If it does continue, let's say they really struggle to score at home, then it's going to be an issue moving forward. But I feel like this is just one of those weird, fluky things that is happening here. And it's really strange. I'm just going to be honest with you, but I'm not really buying into this that much, to be completely blunt with you. By the way, I do want to say this. That regulation win against Montreal was their first one since February of last year.
First regulation win in general?
Yeah, regulation win in the Bell Center. In the Bell Center.
Oh. I mean, a good thing for New York is that Igor's been good. He's been Vezina Trophy Igor. That you don't have to worry about. He's looked a lot better than he did last year, and he still played good last year, and that's saying something, that he's looked better.
Yeah, exactly.
So, at home, if you in those home games, if I'm Igor or if I'm Quick, you're I'm playing well for you. Can you buy me a goal? I just need one.
Yeah.
So at some point, and I'm not, like you said, Evan, I'm not worried about New York's offense, because eventually they're gonna get going.
Yeah, they have. They've scored on the road.
Yeah, exactly. They've gotten going. The fact that they just can't do it at home, which is even weirder, because MSG is one of the best, quote unquote, home ice advantages in the league. Typically,
it is a little weird. It is a little strange.
It's really hard for teams to win at Madison Square Garden, and the fact that they've been shut out all 3 times to start the year. That's just... I don't have the words to describe it, because you never expect it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one of those weird, fluky things. I don't really even know how to describe it. It just feels like a weird fluke that is happening. I think I don't really buy into it that much. It's just one of those funny things. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I did just want to say that. Okay, if you guys don't have anything else on the Rangers, I want to transition to something that happened on Saturday between the Maple Leafs and the Kraken. So
proceed.
The Kraken, obviously, they were on a odd man rush into the Toronto zone, and one of them runs into Anthony Stolarz in his crease. And what does Toronto do? Nothing. Brandon Carlo just stands there and watches. So what does Stolarz do? He gets up, pushes the net over, and then starts punching this guy in the face. Whoever that Kraken was that went down there and was in his net. Stolarz did an interview after the game, basically saying that he was very frustrated with the way his teammates weren't standing up to him. He even said enough's enough, and he called out the Maple Leafs' lack of support. It's actually wild, and you know what? He's right. He is absolutely right, because here's the problem: Toronto has had this issue before. Because you remember that this team really does rely on Anthony Stolarz for a lot. Stolarz has been very good for the Maple Leafs since he's come there. And especially with Joseph Woll on that leave of absence, like, you don't have a trustworthy goaltender in net outside of Anthony Stolarz right now. Like, it's Caden Primo. Like, you don't have a trustworthy goalie. Yeah, Hildeby too there. So here's the thing that I was looking at with this. This has been an issue with Toronto for a long time. They have not been able to stick up for themselves when they've been run at by other players. And this even comes with back in the days when they had Ryan Reeves, when they had Wayne Simmons, when they had Kyle Clifford. They never stood up for themselves. They would let them just get pushed around all the time. And I'm going to be honest with you, like, you can look at the offense and say, oh, that's a big factor why they weren't winning game sevens and stuff. I would argue a big factor is that they would just let teams just push them around all the time. All the time. Even in the regular season, and people were losing their minds, like Steve Dangle. You all know Steve Dangle. He was losing his mind in his most recent YouTube video about how the Maple Leafs, like, they're doing this, and it's October, but this has been going on for the entire Matthews era, and maybe even before that. This has been a problem for a while. Now, Tim, I'm going to go to you first. Tim, as a goalie, and you have a player run into you, what do you want your team to do in that situation?
Well, first off, you hope that the person closest is right there grabbing the guy.
Yeah.
Because if you get ran in general, like, one, as a goalie, you're not happy, but you expect the rest of your team to be pissed off too and want to, like, run through his face.
Yep.
Like, you expect your team to do that. So for Stolarz, for nobody to do it, and you just have Carlos sitting there, who, when he was in Boston, he was a prick to play against.
Yeah.
He was one of the tougher guys to go against. He wouldn't let any of that shit happen.
Yeah.
But then he comes to Toronto and he just watches that. So, and I think I saw a TikTok about this earlier today too, which is ironic that I saw it earlier. But
yeah,
Stolarz was on Tampa before, not Tampa. He was on Florida. Florida never let that shit happen. I saw, like, somebody tapped. This was a few years ago because Ryan Lomberg was on Florida in this video, but somebody, like, barely clipped Bob, and 3 Panthers were surrounding one guy against the boards.
Yeah.
To go from that to Toronto, where you're the only one, you're the one who has to stick up for yourself, and you're the goalie. That's just unacceptable from a team perspective. Like, and they have Craig Berube as a coach.
Yep.
You'd think when Berube got hired, that would have been... Exactly. He was a prick to play against. He was a hard ass. Exactly. Like, you would have thought that would have changed when Berube came over. And to see the same thing happen, they're not going to win anything in the playoffs. And everybody's like, oh, it's the offense. No, it's because they're soft. They are Charmin Ultra soft. It's who they are. It's who they probably always will be until something changes within that room, and I don't know if it will.
We're going to play the Stolarz clip, and I'm going to show a photo here in just a moment. But LeBlanc, what is your take on the situation?
It's the Leafs. Look how soft it is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now, this has been an issue for years. Like we've been saying, that the Leafs are soft. Now, I get it. Certain players, I get why Matthews doesn't engage because he has his wrist injury, and I get that. That's the only like exception I'm gonna make in this scenario. Plus, you don't want your top skill guy fighting. That's just how it is. But go to any other team. Like I'm gonna give Ottawa as an example. If somebody ran Allmark, what do you think would happen?
Oh, he's getting jumped. Like the guy's getting jumped
in there.
He's getting jumped because that's the mentality. It's a team. It's a team mentality where you stick up for each other. Toronto, I don't know. It could be a sign of a bad locker room, or it could be a sign of that when these guys like the Nylander, the Matthews, the Rileys, when they were being brought up, they weren't taught that. It was instilled in them. Because I don't know, I know any team in the NHL, the goalie gets run, you're running up with fists in your face. Like, that's just how it's been.
Exactly.
How it's always been. And you go to the playoffs. Why they always complain? Oh, Toronto's too soft. Yeah, because they're not physical enough. They're not a physical team. Even when they had Reed and had Simmons and had Kyle Clifford, they're tough guys. But as a team mentality, they're not physical.
There's the photo I'm talking about. I'm sorry, it's so blurry. Like, look, Carlo's just standing there while your player is in your goalie's net. Even in the
goalie should not be the one to be shoving that net off. That net should have already come off from Carlo.
And exactly, when you said about Carlo, when Tim mentioned it, when you said Carlo just stood there, Tim basically mentioned my point where I was like, when Carlo was in Boston, that shit would never fly. He would be in their face immediately. No. That's how it is. So, and I know it's an accusation, but I'm pointing to it as a sign of a bad locker room.
Yeah. Here, I want to play, before we keep going, I want to play the Stolarz clip real quick of him in the media talking about this.
Third period, but first two periods, we kind of let them walk all over us. And, we just didn't play our game. They all worked us in front of the net. They blocked shots. They beat us up and down the ice, and the score was indicative of that. They just outworked us, plain and simple.
Are you getting a little frustrated with guys taking runs in?
It's just playing hard. Maybe we can take a page out of their book and start getting to the net. For us, it's we like to go low to high and shoot, but it's, for their goalie, it's like playing catch in the yard. He's seeing everything, and we're not making it difficult. We made it difficult in the third, and look what happened. We came out, tied the game, got a point out of it, almost scored with 5 seconds left, but it's a little too late. And I think, even though we're 6 games into the season, it's, enough's enough, and we kind of got to start picking it up here.
What are you seeing and feeling when March Pinto crushes into you there?
I'm not happy. Guys are going to run me, and, I'm going to try to stand up for myself. And, I heard the ref say we got a power play, and there's really not much I can do to them on the ground. But, kudos to the guys who were there and got down with them. But, like I said, I think we got to start going in the cage a little harder, make it harder for their goalies. It's not fun. I don't like having 225-pound guys landing on me. So, hopefully learn a lesson here.
By the way, I'm going to stop right there. We'll end the clip there. By the way, this is the same goalie who was ran into by Sam Bennett and got knocked out by a concussion.
Yeah, I was going to say,
game one around two.
Given Stolarz' history with being I think I haven't seen a goalie get more run into the past 12 to 16 months than Stolarz has. So I'll be honest, his I would say little crash out on the ice and in the media, it's valid because none of these
totally
guys
worth
coming up to defend him when he's getting ran into.
They just let Bennett run into him like it was nothing.
And that was in the playoffs.
In the playoffs. And Bennett was that same guy who came in there and beat you, and he won a cup with Florida. And again, I'm going to say this narrative once again, and I know we brought it up. If this was Florida and this was somebody running into Bobrovsky, the whole fucking bench would come off. Not literally, but you get what I mean. That whole bench.
Exactly.
Everybody's going on the ice would be involved in that in some capacity.
Every player would. Every player on that team would go in there and defend their goalie. Maybe not at the same time, but if any line, any defensive pairing were on the ice, they are going in there and defending their players. And that's the reason why a team like Florida has won the Cup back-to-back years. They'll run you. They'll piss you off. They'll play that physical way. They'll defend themselves when things go bad. They'll defend their goaltender. I thought that was actually like an unwritten rule. You defend your goalie. Never the goalie's fault. You always defend them.
It's an unwritten rule. You don't let anyone touch your goalie.
That is, and we were taught. I was taught at a very young age. I want to say 7, 8. I was taught that.
We all were.
You never let anyone touch your goalie. And I just want to
someone touches your goalie, you let them know that's not allowed.
Yeah. I just want to put this out here. People say that physicality and the defending, it's like it's not important. I think it's actually way more important than we think. Physicality on a team, because if you're not physical, you can't defend yourself, and you're not gonna. and if you're not physical in the playoffs, you're not going to go very far.
I agree. I definitely agree. I think that things like, do you guys think this is going to change? Because this has been this way for years with this team. And maybe you get to a point, and Dangle made a really good saying. He said maybe you should stop teaching old dogs new tricks, because maybe it's just not going to work with this team. Maybe they're not going to play that way.
Like, as a Leafs, for Leaf fans, you hope it changes, but will it? I don't know. I don't know if this will ever change.
It would have to.
Maybe Stolarz coming out there and saying enough's enough will change the narrative, but
Stolarz calling his team in the media. I feel like it's going to be some we need a players only meeting to discuss how are we going to change this as a group.
Yeah, if your goalie's calling you out in the media, that's saying a lot right there. He's calling us out because there's something wrong. He wouldn't do this if there was nothing wrong.
Stick up for yourself. That's all it is. Defend your goalie. Yeah. These are unwritten rules in hockey. And I want to say this too. This isn't just something that the Panthers would do. I know we referenced the Panthers. Any team in the National Hockey League would defend their goalie in any scenario. You see it all the time. Boston would. Mm-hmm. Philadelphia would. Detroit would. Ottawa would. Montreal would. Exactly.
Is not going to be that good and might be dejected in the season. They are still going to stick up if someone runs Askarov or Nedeljkovic.
Yeah, someone runs their goalie over. And even if it's something where it's it's incidental and that, and maybe they didn't mean it. Still, you think Florida gives a shit? Or any of these teams care?
No, none of these other teams give a shit if it's preseason or if it's Game 7 of Round 1. It doesn't matter. If somebody hits your goalie, you let them know and you make them pay for it.
I'm going to say this.
I thought they came on leaving. Sorry, I'll let you go first.
The last time I saw Toronto really step up for their goalie, I'll be honest, it may have been pre-lockout when they had guys like Ty Domi on the team. Because you look at those old clips from the old early 2000s, late 90s rosters they had. Someone ran into the goal, even breathed on the goalie, fist in the face. There was a scrum, always.
I thought Marner leaving would maybe change the narrative a little bit, but it hasn't. Nope. The mold of this team.
Who would you say is their out of their top players, out of their core four? Who would you say is going to fight out of that core four?
Of the core four?
Yes, of that core four. I'm talking Matthews, Nylander. We'll say Tavares, and we'll go five, and Riley.
Nyes and Riley. Of those five, probably Nyes.
Probably Nyes.
Nyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nyes is the only one who would.
He's not a part of. He's been here for 20 years.
Shit's got to change. I mean, that's really what it is, bar none. It's got to change. I mean, again, if this narrative doesn't go away, I fear that we're going to see the same shit. Seriously.
I know
it's going to be the same thing over and over.
And I know it's early, but Toronto is off to I would say an not ideal start.
3-2-1. I mean, I'm not even worried about. I don't even care about the result of that game. This has been a problem with Toronto for years.
Yeah,
years. And they always maybe they always start off slow. They have some problems, but they always, they turn it around. They always do. They always find a way.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's not ideal for them to be starting out like this, especially.
Yeah.
Five games in, you shouldn't have your goalie calling you out in the media.
Definitely. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So there you go. I really wanted to bring that situation to light because it was something that, we've been talking about with a couple of teams and them being too soft. And we always talk about Florida being that kind of team. Toronto has not been that kind of team for a long time, and that needs to change. So there you go. Okay. That's the last team we wanted to talk about there in the Eastern Conference. Let's move on to the Western Conference. We got to talk about Seattle. Me and LeBlanc and probably Tim are not looking very smart right now. Seattle is on an unbelievable streak. They have not lost in regulation. But then again, they haven't played. I guess they played some pretty good teams. They started off with a 3-1 win against the Anaheim Ducks. Home opener. Looking pretty good. 2-1 win in overtime against Vegas. Vegas, keep in mind, is one of the other teams that doesn't have a regulation loss just yet. Montreal, they play a hard-fought game. They nearly won the game, but they blew it late and they lost in overtime. Still get the point. They lost to Ottawa in a shootout. Kept it pretty tight in that game. And then they just beat Toronto 4-3 in overtime. They've been off to an awesome start. And again, this is something that me and LeBlanc said. We thought this team was just so average. We were not a fan of Lane Lambert. But overall, Seattle on a lot of levels has been connecting pretty well. So what is your guys' input here on the Seattle Kraken? But I do want to say Joey Dackard, 4 games played, 3-0-1, a 2.39 and a .912.
I mean, I look even dumber than you two. Yeah. I had Seattle finishing last in the division.
You did, that's right.
That's right.
You did. I forgot about that.
I look dumber than you two.
You did.
I mean, did we expect this? No, but when you're getting that type of goaltending out of Decord, hell, Grubauer's looked good. Who saw that coming? I don't know if they played Murray yet, but Decord is easily one of the more underrated goalies in the league. He's borderline top 10. I think in the ranking I had you, I helped you with, Evan. I think I had him at like 12 or 13. So I definitely had him top 15, but the more surprising thing for them is offense is showing up. We didn't know that was my biggest worry for them is where are you going to get goals from?
They're getting goals from like everywhere, honestly.
Exactly.
They're getting goals from all around the roster. It's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, like you knew the goaltending was going to be good, but nobody knew where the scoring was going to come from. And for them to have all-around scoring from every line, some of the D are chipping in. They look really good. And who they hire as their coach again?
Lane Lambert. Now, LeBlanc, you got to see Seattle play against Ottawa if you did watch that game. Were you there, actually?
No, I was not there.
Okay, you watched it. All right. So, how did Seattle look?
More confident. Like they look
as somebody who didn't like Lambert and yourself,
they look a lot more confident. They look a lot more like I don't know if I want to say faster. I think they have more youth in the lineup this year, but they look like they're locked in. Like Chandler Stevenson, who last year we said was one of the worst contracts signed, brother had 2 goals the other night against Ottawa. Like he's looking at those. Shane Wright has put on a show. Like Shane Wright. He's got 4 points in, I think, 5 games they played now. He's really impressed me. Joey Decord, always looking, former Sen. Joey Decord, looking great. Who, by the way, last year, don't remember, he was my Vezina pick.
He was. That's right. I forgot about that.
I love that.
I remember that.
But yeah, no, like their defense looks a lot better. Their forward core looks a lot better. They're playing like. I don't know what the system they have Lane Lambert running. They think it's working. They beat Vegas. They came back to beat Vegas 2-1. They almost beat Montreal after Montreal pulled off some voodoo, and then they almost beat Ottawa. It wasn't for Dylan Cousins to score that third period late goal to tie the game. And they go into Toronto and they beat Toronto. Goaltending looks good.
Easy.
Defending looks good. Their forward core. It looks good. It's early though. I want to it might be a hard start. I want to go back to them when we get to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I want to go back to them when we start November because they do have a pretty interesting docket coming up here. They play Philadelphia on tomorrow or today when you guys listen to this. They play Washington on Tuesday. They play Winnipeg on Wednesday or Thursday, Edmonton on Saturday, and then Montreal again on Tuesday. So they do have some pretty good competition there coming up. I don't know if they can keep up the consistency and keep playing the way we know they can play. Who knows?
And
the saying is you don't make the playoffs in October, but you can damn well miss the playoffs in October.
Exactly. So it's good to have this good start. 100%.
They're getting points off. They haven't lost regulation yet. They're getting points. And that's what's important. Every point matters.
Yeah, exactly. Especially for you look at that competitive Western Conference. Like Vancouver's been awesome. They are They're top 15 in the league. They're 4-2. They've been great. They've won 3 in a row. You look at other teams too, like you have Vegas there, obviously. You also have the Oilers, who've been a little bit underwhelming, I guess you could say. 2-3-1, but that's usually how they are. No surprise
They
there.
typically start slow.
Yeah, and I mean,
Vegas has been good. Colorado's looked like a wagon.
yeah, I will say this though, like LA's off to a really slow start. Calgary, who was in it last year, we're going to get into them in a moment. They haven't been good. There's a chance. There is a chance. I mean, again, you're going to be
Especially
battling
in the
with
Pacific Division.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah, you're
one
gonna
of
be
the
battling with
division. They have a shot to get in. Like,
they do. They have a legitimate shot to actually get into the playoffs.
Seattle, I'm begging you, make me look even dumber than you're making me look right now.
Exactly.
listen, if Seattle makes the playoffs, you need to write a full apology letter, like on video, like
I might have to.
right.
Yeah, you had a blast, man. That's rough.
I might have to.
We've had
There's
Florida
bad takes, but that might be one of the worst if it happens.
We both had Florida 7th the year they won the cup, so
That's probably the worst.
that's probably the worst one.
Yeah.
That's not a good one.
That wasn't that. I will say this for the record: that was not in the history of the MVP, so it doesn't count. That was LeBlanc-cast. It doesn't count. All right. Moving on then from Seattle, we got Calgary. Calgary, I wanted to discuss because last night they got absolutely pumped by the Vegas Golden Knights 6-1. The Flames have really struggled to score goals. They had 4 goals in their season opener against Edmonton. One of them was obviously the shootout winner. Apart from that, they have scored more than 2 goals, or scored more than 2 goals 0 times. So they lost 5-1 the following day to Vancouver. They lost 4-2 to St. Louis, 4-2 to Vegas, 3-1 to Utah, and then 6-1 to Vegas on Saturday. It's been a rough go of things. And again, we probably could have predicted this coming. I really, even when I was predicting them like 5th in that division, it was all relying on Dustin Wolf. And Dustin Wolf has not been great. I'm just going to be honest with you. Through 5 games played, 1-4, a 4.3 goals against average, a .854 save percentage. In terms of goaltenders with lowest goals saved above expected, I'll put the picture on screen. Dustin Wolf is last by a long shot, minus 8.8 GSAX in expected goals against in all situations. The advanced analytics are not in favor of this guy. Now, I'm not watching every Flames game, but I will say I don't think this is all on him. The defense is not that great as it is. But what I really want to touch on is their goal scoring. It's been awful, as we kind of expected.
Yeah. This Calgary team they got no goal scorers. Like, it's just plain and simple as that. Like, they have guys who can score, but not at a very good... like, I think of Calgary, like, probably their best player who could score is probably... Would you say it's Kadri?
I would. He doesn't even have a goal, though. Like...
Yeah, was going to say Kadri, Farabee.
Farabee, like, you're not getting production. And we could have seen this coming from a mile away. First off, Zane Parek's off to a little bit of a rough start there. No points in 4 games, which I'm a little bit worried about because I had him, I think, top 5 of my Calder picks. You're not getting production from your offense. And we could have predicted this because their offense is the exact same. Copy and paste from last year. The exact same.
Yeah.
It is the exact same.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, did you really think that it was going to improve from within? Like, did you really think Morgan Frost was going to score 20 more goals or 15 more goals?
Unless you're expecting big things from, like, Matt Van Gridden, like...
He's in the AHL. He's not up there now anymore.
Oh, he got sent back down?
He got sent down.
Not sent back down. He got sent down.
He got sent down.
Yeah, their leading scorers right now with 2 goals are Matthew Coronado and Blake Coleman.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I feel so stupid for putting them at 5th in that division. I feel so
Side
dumb.
note, which prediction of mine for the Pacific Division is worse? Seattle finishing last or Calgary finishing 4th?
That one.
Probably both.
I mean,
all of the above.
I was all over the place in this division. What was I on? Good Lord.
It's early. It's early. It's so early in the year.
It's early, but I don't know ball for this division. I'll be honest.
If you don't.
What is this early? It's overreaction season, and we've been very.
Here we are.
Yes, here we are. It's overreaction.
We could have seen this coming though with the Flames. Like Seattle is one thing where like they're off to a really good start. You know, the Rangers are that, Toronto is that,
Well, like
Detroit's that, you know, all that stuff. But we could have seen this. We saw this coming. What was the biggest problem last year with the Flames?
they couldn't score.
Goal score.
Yep.
They could not score to save their lives. And the reason why they were 0 points out of a playoff spot or 1 point out of a playoff spot was because of the guy they have in net. And suddenly, Dustin Wolf, and I don't put this on him at all, like even though he has bad numbers, he suddenly just starts not really playing the greatest. You know, he's not playing well. Calgary plummets. They're last in the league.
Yeah, like I think if you look at that Calgary team last year, and I'm going off. This was from something from Chicklets. I think it was Bob Stauffer was talking about this. If you gave that Calgary team last year average goaltending, they're an 82 to 85 point team.
I agree.
They finished
They can't score.
2 points less than Florida in the overall standings last year. They had 96 points last year.
Yeah.
And the whole reason they had that many points is because Wolf was dragging that team kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
Now you have Wolf, who, and it breaks my heart because I love the guy, but he's not playing his best, and shocker, they're getting a little bit below average goaltending, and now they don't look like a good team.
And I want to say this, like I made a video today talking about it, and there were some people who were saying that it is on Wolf, it's not on Wolf. Like, regardless of whether it's on Wolf or it's that blue line, which, by the way, Rasmus Anderson's not making a great case for his trade value. He has 1 goal in 6 games played. So
he hasn't
the way he's played defensively, I don't know. But
He had a bad
The
year
defense-
last year, and he looks worse this year.
yeah, the defense is a factor. I totally agree with that. But and Wolf hasn't played well, but I don't put this on him. Like you could have seen this coming. Again, you could have seen this coming. And what did the Flames do? And I'm going to be on. We're going to move it to a more positive light here in a second. But the Flames did nothing to improve this. So what did you expect?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, what did you expect?
And
No, you didn't really expect anything else, honestly.
we were doing our standings picks, and I think I mentioned it in the episode where I said Calgary's going to be going into a retool rebuild, and that's why I thought they'd be lower. But they're not going to rebuild unless ownership says yes. You need the ownership to agree to you to rebuild. And by the way, rebuilding with your star goaltender is probably not the right decision.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this right now. They are last in the league. This isn't going to sustain itself. They're going to be better than last.
Yeah,
this is
Wolf's going to be better than this.
Yes, Wolf will, unless if like there's something really bad going on here and things get a lot worse. Wolf will improve. Like I don't see a world.
I think I can, if I'm being honest. I think of the three of us, I've probably watched the Flames the most. Simply because of how much I love watching Dustin Wolf. Because he's an amazing goalie who's 5. Like, he's a short goalie, too. He's a UC Saros type guy. He's not a type of guy who should have made it in the NHL for his size. So, he's also a guy whose play style I love watching. So, I've probably watched the Flames the most. It's not fully on him. Has he been great? No. But he's not getting the goal support. He's not getting the help in front of him with the D-core. Yeah. It's all the things we could have seen coming with this team because they didn't do anything to address any of the gaping holes they had.
They didn't, and I'll be streaming them tomorrow. We're streaming the Winnipeg-Calgary game. I'll watch with Nordic, but I'm really concerned about this. But I will be honest with you, though. Like, if they end up finishing around this spot, like, let's say they are bottom 5 this year, which, I mean, last place is crazy. Bottom 5 is
a little more realistic, but even then, that's not as realistic.
Not a bad year to be bottom 5.
No, it's a great year to be a bottom 5 team.
If they were bottom 5, or God forbid they somehow end up finishing last, it would probably be the best thing that could happen to them.
Exactly.
Seriously, it would be the best thing that could happen to this team. Because you look at Calgary, like again, as LeBlanc said, like they're not really that close to being a contender. They have some good young prospects. There's no denying that. Like Coronado is going to be great. You have guys there like Connor Zary, who looks good. Matt Green looking like a really good pickup. You have guys like Colin Potter, Cole Reshney, who look like exciting guys too. Imagine you add like Ivan Stenberg to that, or even a Gavin McKenna. Like if you get a really top prospect in this year's draft, that could really change the narrative for this team. But I got to be blunt with you, they're not going to finish at that spot because Dustin Wolf is too good for that. I'm just going to be honest. Maybe they get some lottery luck. Maybe the narrative changes there, but got to be a world where that happens.
Maybe Dustin Wolf is mysteriously injured after the deadline.
Maybe. But
side note from what Evan said, wait, lottery luck is a thing?
Yeah.
Not in Detroit's realm.
I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, not in your realm. Sorry to say, I mean the Flames really need to improve this.
Ottawa's dropped the same amount as Detroit, just not as serious as it's been though.
They also traded away their one pick when they were the worst team in the league. Remember that? But they drafted Byram, so Byram wasn't like the greatest in the world out of that draft. Anyway, Calgary will wanted to touch base on them. Going around the league here a little bit, there's a couple of things that I do want to cover that are just very quick here, and then we'll move into Tim wants to talk about some NCAA stuff, and then we'll go into the hot topics around sports. First off, Utah's new mascot Husky came out of a ice box in his debut in the Delta Center. First off, what do you guys think of this mascot? What are your evaluations on
I had the same blue plushy elephant on my bed as a child.
I'm
just kidding. No. It's awesome. It's it's the best mascot reveal I think we've had in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's good. I like it. I like the branding's on point. The colorway's on point. The point of the mascot is can he be appealing to the kids? And I think it checks all those boxes. So
yeah, it's not really that scary. I think it's fine. I think it's great. Actually,
I love it. I think just scrolling through Twitter when it was revealed, I think my favorite tweet of all the tweets of everything I saw, ironically, came from another mascot. It came from Sabretooth, Nashville's mascot.
Oh, what did he say? I forget.
It was like another blue,
a baby blue prehistoric animal. How original! Which
that makes a lot of sense.
Having mascot rivalries is even better. But yeah, I loved it. I think Husky. It's a great mascot. Him coming out of an ice cave was great. Having it as something to surprise the fans with at your home opener was even better. Ryan Smith is doing a damn good job as the owner of this Utah team.
Definitely, he's done some great work.
I can't wait to see where this team goes with him as the owner for it.
I absolutely agree. Canes prospect Bradley Nadeau scored a Michigan goal for the Chicago Wolves. Nadeau, we talked about a lot in the prospect pool talks. Nadeau is one of my favorite guys in the league in terms of prospects. I think it's criminal that he's down there in Chicago right now. He should be up with the big club. That's just my opinion, but you can.
But that also just goes to show how good Carolina is that Nadeau has to be in the AHL.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Did you guys see Brad Marchand going at Rasmus Dahlin after a cross check and then goes to the penalty box with his helmet and just destroys the fucking thing?
It was the most Brad Marchand thing I've ever seen.
I mean, that's kind of going back to what we talked about with Florida. Did you ever see a Toronto player doing that?
They don't take shit from anyone.
No, they don't.
Did he get cross-checked? Yeah, but the fact that, one, he had to go back at him, and then Dahlin, bro, you've got 3-4 inches on Marchand in general. How are you going to just turtle? Come on. You're not Claude Lemieux against Darren McCarty. You can't turtle.
Can I just say that Brad Marchand, and I know we know this answer, but Brad Marchand really fits that Florida mold so well. Like,
Unfortunately, he fits that mold all too well, which made that trade at the deadline last year even worse. Because when you saw that trade, you're like, shit, they're repeating.
Yeah, you kind of knew at that point, so I definitely agree with
still
that.
picked against it.
Yeah, exactly. We still picked against them. We still picked Tampa like idiots.
I picked Dallas, even worse.
I'll never do that again. I'll never do it again.
No.
All right. Yeah, so that's things I want to talk about. Looking at other stuff here, was there anything that you guys saw that you wanted to bring up that was interesting? Anything you guys saw at all in terms of
Frank Nazar.
We need to, yes. So I was watching the game today.
Nasty.
Frank Nazar is a wagon. This kid is an absolute wagon. So far this season with the Blackhawks, has 7 games played, 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points. Scored today against the Ducks. They got the overtime winner. By the way, Chicago 3-2-2 to start the year. 8 points.
They're in a playoff spot right now. Granted, it's 6 games. For them, it's 7 games in, so the playoff spot part doesn't matter. But they don't look like a team dead in the water.
I posted on my irrelevant Twitter. I said, "Is Chicago a wagon?" Like, I'm watching that game. I'm like, holy shit! Like, this is like
they
good
look good. They look good. Spencer Knight looks great. Which everybody talks about how Florida got Seth Jones. No, Chicago got Spencer Knight. They got their goalie.
Yeah.
The only confusing part was when Chicago signed him for 3 years. Like, if you believe in him, give him the term. And yes, I'm quoting Mike Partner, because I saw one of his Instagram stories about that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm quoting him for that. But still, it's like, if you believe in Spencer Knight enough for him to be your starter and give him that money, give him the term. Because if he's good enough like he has been, he's been great for Chicago. Chicago has a goalie now. Do they have Bedard's running mate? Possibly. Can you build around this, though? That's the question for that.
I will say my piece, but I've been high on Frank Nazar since the draft happened back in 2022.
Same.
You wanted him, right?
Yeah.
He was 23.
I had him going 5th.
No, he was 22.
James, he was 23.
23.
He was the 20. No, Evan's right. He was the 22.
Yeah, so
because that was the Slavkovsky draft, because that's when Detroit took Casper.
I don't know if you guys saw the St. Louis goal he had against the Blues, where he goes in, he crashes into Bennington, but he scores, and then he gets pushed off. A scrum breaks out, and he's just there, still celebrating his goal as his teammates are fighting, which I thought was the most that's kind of aura.
Which brings up a point. Also, brings up a point we had earlier. Shocker! Somebody crashes into the goalie. Scrum breaks out. Toronto, open your fucking eyes.
Yep.
The one thing I thank every day that Montreal could have had Frankie Nazar, and they traded him that pick for Kirby Dach.
Got to take your shots when you can.
Listen,
I wanted Nazar in Detroit, but thank God we took Marco Casper.
Listen, I've been firing blanks recently. I need this. All right.
All right, one more thing before we go to Tim's NCAA Corner. Greensboro Gargoyles. Spin and Chicklets boys. ECHL, they made their franchise debut. Of course, the Chicklets were in the building. It was an actually electric weekend. So what's funny is they had their first goal waved off originally. They were playing the Jacksonville Icemen. They had their first goal waved off, which is hilarious. And then they scored in the final minute of the third period, down 1-0 to force overtime. That was their first goal in franchise history. They ended up losing that game, but then I think they won today. I don't know. Their inaugural game attendance in Greensboro, 11,398
for an ECHL game. God damn!
Hockey's growing down there in the South, and again. I do want to say this because I know you guys don't follow the ECHL that much, and obviously,
this is your realm.
Yeah, I report on the damn team in the league. Greensboro did have a team back in the '90s. It's not surprising that they are growing like this, and obviously, Chicklets was there. That helps too. But man, it does really show that this is hockey's really growing in these small parts. It's good to see.
It's good to see, Evan, for you and I in the States, it's good to see hockey grow, especially down south, where it's the non-traditional hockey markets. That's where you love to see the sport grow.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I feel like we really, I mean, even still, like, we're never going to get to that level of, like, where football is and baseball is, obviously. I feel like we may never get to that, but seeing, hockey games like this in like, Greensboro, Greensboro is in, like, either North or South Carolina.
It's about an hour outside of Raleigh.
Yeah. And, I mean, I feel like, that's not that far of a drive, but I still feel like seeing hockey grow in those parts is great. It is. And there's no denying it. You have a team in Charlotte there, too.
I think the Canes' influence in the Carolinas really does help. Growing up. I think as a Canadian, it's always like when there's a new team going down south. It's always it's a lot of like old complaining how that the non-traditional markets won't support the team and the Canadian markets will. Well, it's an ECHL game. It's not an NHL game. You're getting over 10,000 to go. Look at the Canes. They basically almost every game now is a sellout down there. Hockey's growing down there. Yeah. The Florida teams, they've really grown the sport in the state of Florida. And Atlanta's probably going to come back eventually. So hockey in the South is growing at a rapid rate right now.
Yeah, exactly.
There's now 4 teams in the Carolinas alone?
Yeah, you have Charlotte, you have Greensboro, you have the Hurricanes, and I'm forgetting one. But yes,
the South Carolina team in the ECHL.
Yeah, Stingrays, who were great last year. They were the best team in the league last year, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, it's phenomenal how hockey's growing down south. Okay, all right, let's move into the 2 other things we need to get to here before we wrap up. Tim, NCAA Corner, you had some stuff you wanted to talk about. If you want to share your rankings, you can as well. All I ask, though, is if you share your rankings, only share the top 5.
Okay, yeah.
Top 10 on
I'll start with that. This was a big week for college hockey. You had a top 3 matchup in the country on one of the games wasn't even on a subscription service. It was on ESPN2. That's huge for the game.
Which is awesome.
And obviously I was turned in because my boys were in it. We had an away series against Boston University. We took both those games. The game on Friday, we won 4-2. It was just a great week. And Friday in general for college hockey was insane. You had so many upsets. Connecticut, UConn, who I'm really high on them this year, they hosted Ohio State, who made the... Did they? Yeah, Ohio State, who made the tournament last year. They were in the Big Ten championship game. UConn beat them 3-2. You had Western Michigan go to UMass Lowell and won that game in a thriller. You had Wisconsin, Minnesota State. That's always big when you have Wisconsin and Minnesota. Any team in Minnesota go head-to-head. You had North Dakota, Minnesota. That's one of the biggest rivalries in college hockey. You had that this weekend. You had Denver, who was a top 5 team in the country this week. Denver lost to goddamn Lindenwood, who is in their 5th years of program. It was a good Friday night for hockey. Michigan State probably the biggest game was Michigan State, Boston University. Michigan State won that game 4-2. We were up 3-1 after the first. Yeah, up 3-1 after the first. State really controlled that game more. I like how we played. And the whole reason that game was on ESPN2 and just this year's in general was so big because you had 34 NHL draft picks in one series. It's probably the 2 most NHL talent loaded teams playing each other, and it was good for college hockey to get that recognition. And going into Saturday, Michigan State won in a thriller in overtime. They choked a 3-1 lead in the third, which I didn't like. I thought we were going to lose. Then in overtime, we had, for Sunday, was the number 1. It was the top of SportsCenter top 10. It was the top play of the day, where
I can see that.
Cole Eiserman shot the puck. It squeaked through Augustine. Vansagi barely pulls that thing off the goal line before it goes in.
Yep.
It goes up the ice. Riker Lee has a nifty move, baits Yegorov enough to pull him out of the net, slides it over to Baskil for the overtime winner. Riker Lee, by the way, also had a nasty goal in that game. Just walks a guy. Riker Lee, I think he was went 8th overall to
26
Minnesota.
Nashville.
He went to Nashville. I think he was 24 to 28 range. He went in there to Nashville in the first round. Porter Martone got his first collegiate goal of his career for Michigan State as well. It was just a big weekend for us. We had Quinnipiac, Maine as well. That's a series I forgot to even talk about. That was a big series too. Like, you had a lot of big games this weekend for college hockey, and it was great. Like, for college hockey in general, this is the type of stuff we want as college hockey fans. We want the game to grow. I want college hockey to get down to the SEC, get out west to the Oregons, the USCs, and the only way to do that is to have it grow like it has with all of these good teams. And the better it gets, it's amazing. I thought there were a lot, and then I'll go into my rankings real quick for my top 5. I'll start at 5. At 5, I have Michigan, as much as that hurts me, because I really don't want to put them there. There's bias here, by the way, and I'm admitting that. I got Michigan at 5. And then at 4, I have Penn State. Penn State is probably one of the more heavy-loaded teams in the country. I thought about dropping Penn State to 5 and having Michigan at 4, but then I looked at the resumes. Neither team has really played anybody, but Michigan, I just feel like hasn't played. Penn State's played better competition because they have a better win. They went on the road to Arizona State to win and swept that.
Swept 2, yeah.
Yeah. Then at 3, I have Boston University. I can't really punish them and drop them too much, even though they got swept this weekend. But when you lose to the number 3 team in the country, you can't go too far. Number 2, I have the reigning national champions in Western Michigan. Western's been great all year. They're what we expected Western to be. They had one hiccup game against Ferris, but other than that, they've been the Western Michigan everybody thought they would be. And then number 1, I got my boys. Obviously, you go into one of the toughest places to play in Aganis, and you sweep both games. That deserves to be the number 1 team. Michigan State deserves to be the number 1 team in the country, in my opinion. I think almost everybody will have them at number 1. They'll probably come in number 1 in the polls this week as well. I can't wait to keep watching this college hockey season. It's going to be electric.
Yeah, not even going to argue your rankings. I think
slightly.
The block loves to just create drama on this podcast, but I'm not going to argue them. I think they're good.
No, they're good. Right? I just like to stir the pot sometimes.
Yeah,
definitely.
We don't expect anything less out of you.
Yeah, that's always how he is. So, who would you say so far has surprised you the most amongst any college in the D1 programs?
I would say Quinnipiac, honestly. For Quinnipiac standards, they had a really down year last year, and they had a great week this week. They went into Maine. They faced Maine this week. And last week, Maine was my number 4 team in the country, and they won game 1 on Friday night in a shootout, and then they won on Saturday. They won on Saturday 4-0. Quinnipiac has looked great. There's a slight bit of controversy around them because they have they have 1 or 2 guys who played pro hockey last year. Don't know how that's legal.
Yeah, they have that one guy who played ECHL last year and is
he played ECHL and AHL games, but he's somehow college hockey eligible. I don't know how that works, but regardless, this Quinnipiac team looks good. They look like a national title contending team, like they have been in most of the years in past few years, they look like the same Quinnipiac team that they have been.
Love it. Yeah. So one more thing here before we move on. Tim, do you know who Massimo Rizzo is?
I do. He was great for them.
Do you know where he is right now?
I know he was a Flyers. He was a 4 to 7 round pick for Philly.
So he was So what are you
covering him and reading?
So he was a really good player, right? He was national champion.
Oh, yeah. He was amazing. He was really good in college.
He's with the Royals right now.
You're gonna love watching him, dude.
Yeah.
Massimo Rizzo is a really good player.
Heavy hitter. I can't believe he's down there.
It's gonna be a treat watching him for you.
Yeah, I can't believe he's down there. He wasn't that good though with Philadelphia, and that was the reason why we didn't see him really with the Phantoms. And the Phantoms had a ton of new players like Carson Dorwart, a couple of other guys there as well. I know you
Carson
know
Dorwart, my boy.
Yeah, I know you know him very well. But with all those players, Rizzo was sent down to the Royals to play. It's kind of wild he's down here. It's a little shocking. But regardless, moving on from the NCAA talk, we got to get into the hot topics around sports. I know LeBlanc wants to talk about the Blue Jays, so I'm just going to turn it over to LeBlanc. I'm going to sit back and relax, and you guys can discuss the ALCS Game 6 and preview Game 7.
Or just leave. It's cool. Okay. Okay. Blue Jays. Let's play ball. Blue Jays forced Game 7, a game they needed to have, and the offense was clicking. Cal Raleigh, 0 for 4 tonight, struck out 3 times.
Yeah.
When you can do that to the MVP, I will say he's the MVP because he is the MVP.
He should be.
Yeah, that's insane. Jays played great. Pitching was great. They got out of a few tight jams. They turned 2 twice with the bases loaded. So they may have gotten a bit lucky tonight. But I think this Game 7 is going to be... This Game 7 is going to be really... everyone should be tuning in. This has been a really good series. And I'm either going to be elated tomorrow or I'm going to be, depressed.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be one of two. You're going to be bipolar. It's going to actually be it. It's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah. I'm not sure who is starting tomorrow. I want to assume it's going to be Bieber, though, for the Jays.
I'm not sure. Savage started today, right?
Yeah, Savage started today, so
he's
not going to be available in the bullpen tomorrow. He threw 87 pitches.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah.
I'm trying to see if they got it right here. It's going to be Shane Bieber for Toronto and George Kirby for the Mariners. George Kirby's pretty good.
Okay.
The current favorite to win the series. It's gonna be a pitcher's duel tomorrow. Bieber is good. He's shown he can really show out in big games. Kirby also can show out in big games. He played very well in Game 5 for the Mariners. And George Kirby.
James, I had to go grab something for you.
Oh no!
Yay!
I had to grab it.
Yeah, so George Kirby played really well in Game 5 against the Tigers. And then Kirby...
Really? You had to bring that up?
Well, I was just talking about...
You had to bring up Game 5? You had to bring up Game 5, though?
And then...
Throw the hat, Tim.
I might have to now.
And then
throw the hat.
I'm in support of him, and he just throws me under the bus.
And then Kirby played Game 4 or Game 3 for the Mariners. I want to say Game 3.
I'll look it up for you.
I don't know.
But Kirby's been really good all season. He's been really good all playoffs. It's going to be a tough battle.
Kirby's an animal.
Yeah, I'll take Toronto's going to have Bieber on the mound. I like where we're going with this. I like who we got. I would love to see they threw again at Springer, which obviously I don't like. They hit him in the knee last in Game 5, and they threw by his head today. Once again, always near the end of the game. Always near in the 7th or 8th inning, they're throwing at Springer, which I still don't like. I still think the one in Game 5 was on purpose. I think the one tonight was also on purpose. But yeah, I hope the Blue Jays win. If they don't win, I'll still be proud of them.
Yeah, it was a really good run regardless.
This is Toronto's first real run at the postseason in, I want to say, since 2015.
Yeah, James Kirby went in Game 3.
Yeah, so yeah.
So we'll probably go for Seattle tomorrow. That would be my guess. Is that Kirby's going?
Yeah, Kirby's confirmed. Kirby tomorrow for Seattle. Shane Bieber for Toronto.
Oh, I like that for you. Bieber's been great for you guys. That's probably, I'd say, of all the big deadline acquisitions in the American League, Bieber's probably been the best.
And that was an acquisition where people laughed at it. They didn't.
Because it was questionable because it was going to be, you're getting the guy. He's walking to free agency next year, and it was the question of what is he going to look like? Because he was coming off Tommy John, so you didn't know what he was going to look like. But he's looked like the Shane Bieber of old, which if that's what he was going to look like, then it was a steal of a trade for you guys, which is exactly what Shane Bieber has looked like.
Yeah.
He's looked like the Shane Bieber in Cleveland that won a Cy Young. The same guy who gives me nightmares because he owned us.
But yeah, I'm going to be honest here. No matter who gets out of this series, I still think the Dodgers win the World Series.
Yeah, that was going to be the follow-up point. I don't think it matters who gets out of this.
My original prediction for the World Series actually was Seattle winning the World Series until I changed the name to the Blue Jays because I said, fuck it, I'll be biased.
Respect.
Fair enough.
That's respect.
And Dylan, my brother, he always says, quote, the Mariners are a cursed franchise. They'll never win anything. So if they lose tomorrow, I have to give him his flowers. So, because I believe Seattle, I don't think Seattle's ever won 3 games in the ALCS. Ever.
No. This is the furthest they've ever been in franchise history.
Yeah.
Their Game 6 win was the biggest win they've ever had.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, even if Seattle beats Toronto, I'll probably still cheer for them to beat the Dodgers.
Yeah, because it's baseball against the Dodgers. That's what it is.
The only time I rooted for the Dodgers was the last World Series because I hate the Yankees, so.
Fair.
I want to give Carter a shout-out here from the NordCast. Carter is going to Game 7 tomorrow. He is getting a flight from Winnipeg, going to Toronto, and going to Game 7.
Hold up. Winnipeg's got an airport?
Of course. I knew you were going to say that. But yeah.
I had to make the joke. It was right there for me.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. I'll let you go at that. All right. Let's move over. So, do you guys have anything else in baseball?
But we got one more.
The Carolina Panthers are over 500 for the first time since 2021.
I knew we were going to go to this. I knew you were going to go to this. Yeah, so do you want to start off there in Carolina? I have a couple things I want to bring up with.
It's been.
I'm just going to stay quiet, or else I'm going to go on a 40-minute rant, and we don't need that.
Why? Because of the Lions? Did the Lions lose today?
The Lions play tomorrow.
No, we play tomorrow. It's just more about last week's stuff.
Oh. I don't care, Tim.
Listen.
How about those Panthers? Keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
What a tagline.
Yeah, I haven't, I don't know, the Panthers have been just a source of pain for me for so many years now. Tim, I sent voice messages to Tim of me just crashing out. And it's
not gonna lie. They get me through my Sundays. They bring me so much joy just to laugh at.
And it's like it's like the Joker laugh when I
it really is.
The team's been through so much turmoil, so much scandal. It's good to see that their franchise quarterback is playing very well. The defense is playing very well when they were trying to be one of the worst defenses in the NFL this year. Tet looks good. The running back room looks solid with Dowdle and Hubbard leading the charge. Canales has taken a step in play calling. Just it's a good moment. I think we'll lose next week to the Bills because it's the Bills. But it's nice to just celebrate being over 500 for the first time in 4 years. So 1 point in a row. If they beat Buffalo, also because Bryce Young will not be playing next week, so he got injured. He had an ankle injury. Probably won't play next week, so they'll probably lose. But if they do win, then I will be singing till the cows come home.
Yeah, I love that. One thing I wanted to bring up with the NFL, how about that Broncos-Giants game?
Oh, my God.
That's some crazy stuff right there.
What, 33 points in the fourth quarter?
Crazy stuff.
Insane. Yeah. Shout out the exciting whites, though.
Jackson and the Giants still had 13. Like, that's wild. Wild.
Yeah, the exciting whites.
Yeah. Cam Scatterboo, Jackson Dart. It's an elite nickname.
Yeah. Also, I don't want to again, but they sold my parlay, and I'm not happy about that. But
of course you got to bring up the
LeBlanc James losing a parlay by one leg on Sundays.
It's
undefeated. It's undefeated. I'm telling you.
Always.
I usually win.
Can we
Thursday.
Talk about
when I do the Thursday or Monday game? I usually win.
Can we talk about the Patriots and their ridiculously easy schedule?
Oh, you mean the cupcake schedule?
Please. I have been dying to go on this. Rant.
Okay, so we won't go too much into it because we're coming up on 2 hours here. But so the Patriots, they played the Texans today. They beat them.
Oh wow, one of the harder games they've ever had.
Titans.
Yeah, no, they played the Titans today.
Titans. Sorry, not Texans. I'm sorry. NFL ball knowledge right here. Negative. Their next 6 games: 1-5 Browns, 0-6 Jets, 2-4 Bengals, 1-5 Ravens, 0-6 Jets again, and then 1-5 Dolphins.
What the hell is his schedule?
They're going to make the playoffs because of this crap.
They're going to make the playoffs because they have a last place schedule. Like that's how it is. When you have a sharp and soft schedule, and you have a semi-good team, you're going to make the playoffs. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't because the NFL's weird. Like, the Bears were last in the NFC North. The Bears have a fucking gauntlet.
They do.
Granted, it doesn't help that they have to play the rest of the NFC North six damn times, but still. The NFC North got... who is our 2 divisions this year? I actually don't know who we got, but like the NFC North has to play 2 divisions, and the good divisions that we have to play.
The AFC West?
No.
Yes, you played the Chiefs.
Not the West. Yeah, but that's just because the Chiefs finished first and we finished first.
Oh, okay. Then
hang on. Let me pull up the line schedule, and that'll be the easy way of figuring this out.
No.
You got the NFC East, I know that.
NFC East, AFC... Nope. Hang on. NFC East and AFC North.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the AFC North. So, like, 2 tough divisions. So, like, the AFC East isn't going to face a hard division. So, it's like, when you have to face your own division, who the only 2 tough games in that division for the Patriots are the Bills.
Bills, yep.
And then, like, it's not going to be a tough schedule for them. Like
Drake May's been great for them.
Oh, Drake May's he's amazing. And I'm not trying to discredit Drake May or Mike Vrabel. Like, I'm not trying to discredit that because you play the schedule you're given, but they haven't had a tough schedule to play. And that's part of the reason why they've been so good is because they've had an easy schedule. Like, they're going to make the playoffs this year because of their schedule.
Yeah, they'll probably in that 5-game gauntlet. It might be 10-2 by the time we talk about it. The next 5 games.
Yeah, they honestly might.
Because I'll be honest, the toughest opponent you send is probably the Ravens.
Yeah, the 1-5 Ravens, but the Ravens the Ravens injury report is better than their active roster right now. like if I know we don't want to promote gambling, but if I were to place a bet, I would still bet the Ravens to win their division.
Oh my gosh,
a mess this year.
I don't trust the Steelers.
I will say I think the Browns game next week might be a trap game.
It really could be. Brownies getting a win, that'll be shocking.
Evan, do you know what a trap game is?
yes, I know what a trap. It's in all sports.
I
Yes,
don't know. I
what
don't
a
know
trap game
if you heard the term before.
Every game against San Jose is a trap game for Philadelphia. I need to move you children along. Anything in college football that you want to discuss?
Miami lost.
I would like to move on from college football. That's all I want to say.
You shush.
Michigan State's giving me pain. Thank God it's hockey season.
It was a big week for upsets actually. Michigan, not Michigan. What am I talking about? Oh my God! Miami lost. Ole Miss lost. Tim, come on. Who else lost?
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech lost. They got.
Are we going to have a completely different rankings this week? Then?
LSU lost.
Yeah, the rankings are going to look a lot different this week. I can promise you that.
Tennessee lost.
Shocker.
Fuck you.
Had to be said.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because, so yesterday was the day before my birthday, and I went to the second game, they lost, and Tennessee lost. Like, oh, right, we're going to have a misery parlay for tomorrow. Then, the Panthers win, and then the Blue Jays win.
Which is funny. He told me he was going to place this misery parlay of picking against his teams. I'm like, you're either going to lose both legs, or you're going to go typical LeBlanc James fashion and lose one of them.
Lose one of them, yep.
That's what I was expecting.
Yep. All right. Well, that's all you guys got. That is it for this episode of the Northern Block Podcast. LeBlanc, any final thoughts?
You didn't tell me happy birthday. You told Carter happy birthday, but not me. I'll see how it is.
Happy birthday, LeBlanc.
That's right.
I was waiting. You know what? So I didn't even realize this. Today when we're recording is LeBlanc's, well, not anymore because it's almost 1 a.m. Yesterday when we were recording, it was LeBlanc's birthday, and I wanted to see if he would notice if I would say happy birthday to him. And it took this long for him to notice.
Took him the end of the recording when it's past
the beginning. I'm like, so no, happy birthday. Because I watched the NordCast, like Carter, I'm on status now. I'm 20 years old, my brother in Christ.
I don't want to hear Unk status and 20 together ever.
Where's my fucking red carpet moment?
But yeah, look, I will give you credit, bro. Happy 40th birthday.
All right.
Happy birthday, man. I'm so sorry. Tim, thank you for coming on once again. It's always great.
Always a pleasure.
Any thoughts you have for us here?
Thank God it's hockey season. I've got these two because football, especially college football, it's been a pain.
No,
it hurts.
Yeah, it'll get better.
We haven't gone in 2 weeks.
I hope so.
So when we have you back on in 2 weeks and say these teams are ruining my life, I'll point back to this episode.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode of the MVP.
Promise anything, James.
Thank you all so much for watching and listening. We'll see you in the next one.
Ciao!
I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Man, I just do what I do. To know about you, I just do what I do. Check. That's the intro. See that? Yeah. I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Yo, check. Let me flip this script. I feel privileged for all who can witness this. I am close to divine. Know the moment is mine, need no omen or sign. Providing a back sound to all the squares that ask around. Be getting it, my skills pay me. Trying to get a million, baby, with an adopted flow that God gave me. Me now. Tell whoever runners that they spot is temporary till I take it, it's mine. I'm selfish. Yo, will tell Miss I'm on my wealth tip. So when we cash out soon, I'm just investing. Hey, no yes men. I've been a legend since before mom and dad had me and was best friends. I chew through comp, don't test them. I chew on tracks, cause after that I bless them. I just do what I do. You see me? I just do what I do. about you, I just do what I do. Check. I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Feel me? I just do what I do. I don't know about you, I just do what I do.